Today we have Over Business presenting an MTI Wireless Edge webinar. If you have any questions, please input them in the question box and Ofer will answer them at the conclusion of the webinar. At this time, I'm going to let Ofer take over, and I hope everybody enjoys the webinar.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome very early in the morning. We're doing this webinar with Microcom, so welcome, everyone. One of the things that when we talk about antenna, it seems that the antenna it's part of radio system. So we saw from our point of view, from antenna manufacturer, we saw a lot of demand for capacity, and we will speak about this. So I would be more than happy to answer after that the question. So let's start. Okay. Oops, sorry. It's slowly. So when we talk about solving for capacity, what's happened, we do a little introduction with MTI, what kind of antenna solution you can find in the portfolio. Very interesting section about how we do a consideration of antenna selection for you, and we will leave maybe time for any kind of question or discussion. So one thing that I want to know if your network should be look like this or like this, okay? So you need to ask if you want a network that's it's limited in capacity and very slowly, or faster or more capacity, and we will talk about this. So there are many reasons why there is a demand for more capacity. First of all, it's driven by applications. So you know that everyone now would like to share video, photo in Facebook, Instagram, everything. It's online. Everyone download more file or upload files. So one of the things that we saw that everyone need more capacity. It's driven by application. The second thing that we saw is also location. It means that if you have a location like stadium that need more capacity because there are 10,000 or even more people, so you need to give more capacity of this kind of place, okay? Maybe outside the stadium will be lower, but a large event, park, campus, building, we saw more and more people asking for capacity. So this is something that you need to support this with appropriate radio, with dedicated antenna, and we will talk about this. There is also another reason for capacity, which is technology. So if you know, everyone know that we're talking about 11 AC wave one today. In the end of 2015, you will see the wave 2. For example, if you can see the difference between wave 1 and wave 2, you can see that I'm not talking about all the other features, but about the capacity, it's going to be almost triple the capacity of dedicated access point. Of course, in order to give this capacity, you need more streaming. More streaming mean more antenna that can support this kind of streaming. We're talking about more MIMO, 3-port, 4-port, and more. By the way, wave 2 it's 4x4, which means we need to give a 4-port antenna. And as you can see, as I mentioned before, in order to support this, you need to give a radio which support MIMO technology. This is, for example, a picture that we took from Xerox, just to show you how they are doing internally. By the way, Rocus is doing the same idea, Cisco. As you can see, in small access point, you can have about 16 antenna or 16 access point, whatever. So the technology push the company to give you a much better capacity because of the demand. And I will be back to this in order to show, but first of all, let me show you a few words about MTI. So MTI is kind of leadership in antenna market. We are production and do designing of high quality antenna solution, and you can check this in the market. We support all kind of performance, quality, and if you check around the market, you will see that many of the OEM are using our antenna, like, I don't know, Cambion, Redline, Radwin, Alvarian before, some of the Aruba, Exalt, and many other companies that you will see in the market. They are using our either off-the-shelf solution or embedded or integrated, and we will talk about this. But again, we know the market of radio, and we support them with our antenna. If in general, we are divided by two different business activity. One of them is the defense, the military product, which is very strong in Huawei. And the other side, we do also the commercial market, which include the wireless solution that I belong, and also the RFID, which is a different business unit, but we also have a lot of solution of RFID. One of the things that many OEM or many company like Uber, Zuner are choosing our antenna, it's because they know that they can get a quality antenna in very good, reasonable price. This is very important to mention, that the OEM have all the option to choose any kind of vendor, okay? And if they choose MTI because they know that they can get a good performance, a good quality antennas, and good design, of course. And we give, by the way, we give 3 years warranty for our antenna, just to let you know that how much we believe with our antenna. It doesn't mean that we sold these and then we go forward to to another customer. We support you. 3 years warranty of the antenna, and we will talk about it. This is outdoor solution, which is very tough environment. So we can offer many kind of solution. There are customers that are using for Cambion, for example, for point-to-point. Many other using us like Redline to point-to-multipoint. Different kind of solution. We have a vehicle solution. We have a train solution. So we have a lot of kind of wireless application solution. We support. We will see. We support any kind from CP, base station, Omni, everything. So when we do antenna deployment, in general, okay, when we're talking about OEM, so we get the specification, a mechanical spec, which means that it's very sometimes very unique for the customer. We do the simulation, we do spec approval, we do sometimes up to 3 or 4 even sample that we in order to improve the performance, and when we do the consideration, of course, the performance, type of radar, which can influence the distance, and the type of radar can influence the performance, and of course pricing. It's also an issue, but we put it as as last consideration, because we more care about performance, and we know that there is a price issue. And this is the reason that we have today a manufacturer in India which can give you a very competitive price in the market. So we do the design, we define the required performance and materials, and we do only the production in India. And this is a manufacturer which is owned by 100% by MTI. It's kind of a daughter company in India. We have all the kind of frequency, whatever you are looking for. I never have any problem in North America to sell, because we support most of the frequency. Of course, there is now a new frequency coming. The LTE band. We got more and more requests for to develop LTE band. The 600, the white space. The upper layer of the upper band of LTE, the 1.7, 2.1. So we got more and more requests for LTE. I can tell you honestly that today we are working about 3 or 4 different antenna for OEM, but I cannot put it like off-the-shelf antenna because it's kind of customized. And of course, we have a lot of combination between the frequency, like 2.4, 4.9, and so on. If you want to get more information about our product, it's very easy. You go to our website. There is a download in the menu. There's a download, so you can download all the catalog, all the test results, all the spec, all the by the way, the drawing, everything you can get from the website. It's open, and you can get all kind of information. Of course, you can go to Microcom to see what kind of available they have in the stock. I can tell you that from our point of view, Microcom has today many kind of options for 900, 5.8 solution as well, dual pole, single pole, 3.65. You know, the WiMAX solution. And if you look at about, you know, one point of our product, so you can see that on top of the frequency, okay, we have many kind of solution like base station, Omni, enclosure, mounting kit, which is very unique to MTI, a very strong solution. And one of the things that we saw that there is a demand for enclosure that many people doesn't have today the radio, so they buy, you know, like Ubiquiti or other radio. They put the radio with their equipment and they buy from us the enclosure, including the antenna. So they get a full radio solution using our enclosure. And we saw that there is. We talk about capacity, so this is the reason that we moved to a new enclosure. So we provide a new enclosure which can have a lot of interface connector, N-type connector on the top and the bottom. So you can have a lot of Omni or N-type connector, and this is the new enclosure. And very nice solution for someone that need off-the-shelf solution, IP67, together with antenna. We also have a kind of dish antenna, E-band solution for 60 gigahertz, 80 gigahertz, if you need more. Recently, Ubiquiti also, another company, of course, released the 3x3 MIMO antenna. We have already a few of triple polarity. We are designing some of the dual band, which means that 2.4, 5.8 dual band, triple polarity, 4-port, 2-port. So we have a lot of solution to support the MIMO solution today. And we do a lot of embedded, custom embedded antenna. We talk about this. So many customers come say, we have enclosure, we have already a radio, and we need to put your antenna inside. So we do this a lot for many OEM in the market. This is the part of just give you a few words about MTI, the capability of MTI. We have a section here which helps you to do some kind of question mark when you want to buy antenna. Okay, so when you do a kind of vendor selection to buy antenna, so first of all, you know, you need to look about the broad picture. We talk about what does it mean, what kind of broadband wireless access you have or you want to give or you want to support, kind of some of design consideration that we talk, what kind of antenna parameter that you have to look, even vendor is very important to mention. And also I give you some case study to show you all of these, you know, in real world, in real numbers. So first of all, the first question that everyone asking, how much it costs, but I will show you during the few slides that I'm going to give you, this is the wrong question because maybe it costs you lower, but the performance will be much lower and not the one that you are looking for. So by the way, it can be good enough for you, you know, but sometimes when you do a network design, when you get the wrong information, so maybe the price will be wrong because it's not, you know, you don't compare apple to apple. So, but I will give you some cases in the last slide. So the broad picture, it's I don't want to teach you, but in general, what kind of network you're going to build, what is the customer, how many customer, what is the demand for customer, what they're looking for, what is the requirement of the network, if you're looking for, what kind of application you're going to support, committed throughput, a lot of things, that what kind of distance that you want to reach. We will see that environment and everything, of course, what kind of cells you have, when you're going to install the cells in the sector. So all this is the broad picture that I'm sure that everyone dealing with this, but I don't want to deal with this because this is not our a professional job to do that we are doing to do. We don't do any professional service like this, but we got a lot of requirements sometimes about network, application, and so on. The second issue that you need to see is the design consideration for wireless. So everyone understands that antenna, if you check any OEM, they will tell you we can have the best radio in the market, but we need to choose also the best antenna, because it's the most critical component for, we will see that wrong antenna can destroy your network performance. Really, it's very clear. I will show you some picture, some network design that people are doing outside. So the funny thing that the antenna is almost less than 5% or 3% of the total cost of the network. It means that the installation, the site acquisition, all the things. It's not the big portion of the network, okay? But it's the most critical because this is the like if you have the radio, it's kind of the ear and the nose and the eyes of the radio outside. This is the antenna. It's giving the radio from all the RF outside. Like this is the sensitive let's say component outside the radio. If it's wrong, your network will be wrong, and the performance will be degraded. So bottom line, the radio can be excellent, but the antenna is kind of the eyes of the ear of the radio. So if you choose the wrong antenna, first of all, distance, for sure distance will be wrong, throughput will be lower, quality of service for your customer, problem, interference. By the way, a customer will be all the time complaining about service, about poor quality or poor throughput. If you want to give more capacity to your customer on the same site acquisition or same site location, so frequency reuse, reliability, sobriety, again, a lot of things that you need to do to take into consideration when you choose kind of antenna. So, okay, we talk about general, the big picture. Okay, well, let's go about specific about antenna. What kind of parameter you need to choose or you need to be aware when you choose a good antenna. So first of all, again, we will talk about is side lobe, front to back ratio, cross polarization. There are a few parameters that mandatory to be checked by you when you go into an antenna. By the way, it's every spec give you, but I'm sure that many people maybe not aware that when they're choosing the antenna, what kind of parameter they need to choose. So first of all, again, it's very important to check what the gain in elevation, what gain in, mostly the gain given in the azimuth. It's very important. The gain give you, the distance from the sector, from the cell. Very important. But again, when people give you gain, you need to ask if it's average or maximum or typical. You will see that in the spec, it's very easy to see that if you give you average, what does it mean average? It means that it can be lower, it can be upper than the given figure, or if it's the maximum, it means this is the maximum, but it can be lower. So a lot of cheating in this kind of world of gain. In general, MTI give you minimum. It means that when we said 16 dBi is the minimum and it can be higher. Okay, so if we have a problem, so we said if it's a broadband antenna that support, I don't know, 2.4, 4.9, 5.8. So sometimes we give typical, but always we give the full spec and the full test result performance over the web. So you can see for each frequency how much you get. So this is something that we support our customer in order to do a better network design. So again, it's very strict, but still there is a lot of question mark. You know, according to the standard, when we talk about sector, 60 degree, 90 degree, 120 degree, the definition said minus 3 dB up power. Of course, we're talking about algorithm, you know, dB, it's algorithm. So when you have minus 3 dB, you lose half of the power. And we see that some people are cheating also in the beamwidth. But again, it's kind of to read between the lines. The second parameter is the side lobe. Very important parameters. I'm sure that everyone doesn't care about the side lobe, but if you see the side lobe, this is the first side lobe, second side lobe, the third side. The side lobe, it's very important to have a good design of antenna, because if you have a very high side lobe, okay, you're going to have a lot of interference from the environment. You're going also to make a lot of problem to other cells or other antenna in the field. And also, it's not, you know, not all the full you know, all the full power is in the main lobe, okay. So it's going to make degradation of your coverage. So it's very important to see what level of side lobe suppression you have. If someone needs anything in the future, they want to ask me about side lobe, they have a specific antenna, we can do a comparison with our product or give them some education over email. So front to back ratio, the same issue. If you have the main lobe, you have also the back lobe. Okay, you need to have a very small back lobe. So the ratio between the main lobe and the back lobe should be higher. So what's happened if you have a wrong ratio or you have a very high back lobe? You're going to have a lot of interference from the back. You know, you can install a very good system. You will be happy. Tomorrow someone is going to install another system and you're going to have a lot of interference because the network degradation is going to be very high. And also you cannot put any back-to-back, you know, antenna. If you have a cell that you want to put, you know, like a sector, it's going to be a very, very problematic for you to use this kind of antenna. And back ratio, the back lobe, it's very important to see what is the back to front ratio. It's kind of a ratio given by dB. So again, sometimes it's transparent. You can install antenna on the roof or somewhere. It's going to work excellent. Someone is going to install very close, you know, after 1 month, 2 months, they're going to install another antenna, and then your network degradation will be, you don't know why, you know, why the throughput is going down, either by side lobe, either by back ratio, but this is something that you need to be aware that it's a parameter that antenna need to support. The next parameter, which we talk about MIMO, you see about capacity. So more and more customers are buying 2x2, 3x3, and we talk about the Wave 2, 11 AC Wave 2. So it's going to be 4x4. So we're talking about, oops, there is something which is wrong here. But we're talking about dual polarization. Okay, dual slant, it was divided by 2 lines. So the main idea between these that dual polarization is VNH, and dual slant it's also kind of VNH, but it's rotated by 45 degrees. The main idea that you need to give more capacity on the same sector, so you're going to give more streaming, more you know, more radio interface. So, but there is a relationship between VNH or between 2 ports plus minus 45 degree dual slant. There is some kind of isolation between the port. Okay, so if you don't have the isolation, so the capacity is going to be very, very low, because the VNH is going to interfere between both of them. And even it's good parameter, and you have another one which have VNH in the same frequency on the same side, you're going to have a degradation with your network. So also when you choose MIMO antenna or triple, 3x3 or whatever, you need to see what is the port-to-port isolation and what is the degradation between two ports. So this is also something that we go to, you want to give more capacity, you need to choose a better radio with a more MIMO capability, but then you have another issue to check. This is the result. The main result that, okay, you have 3 sites here, and if you have a, if you have a bad, as we talk, side lobe coverage and everything. So these are the result of the same radio but different antenna. Okay, you will see here that you have a much more coverage. Okay, you increase the ROI. In this case, as you know, like if you design a network, you need to put at least another maybe 3 sites, or you need to redesign your network in order to put more cells. More cells mean more money. So you lose money because you don't have, you choose the wrong antenna. Another example that I can give you, it's from Cambion point-to-point 450. This is the MTI antenna. As you can see, side lobe. You can see side lobe, very good side lobe, a very good front-to-back ratio. And this is the existing antenna they have today. And this, by the way, I've done simulation done by the customer. So this is a 6 sector. So you use 6 sector on one cell. So you can see the coverage of MTI compared to existing antenna. You see a lot of bad coverage between. See how much bad coverage you have. It means that you have less capacity to give to customer. Here, I'm not talking about coverage, real coverage here, as you can see. So you can see that the green one means a good coverage, and as much as you go, the green one going to be less maybe coverage, but still it's much better than the existing one. And the same radio. Again, the same radio, just change the antenna. See the difference. And this is what I said in the beginning. The antenna is kind of the sensitive component outside for the radio. So if the antenna is wrong, it's given a very bad, they give a very, a lot of noise getting to the radio, and the radio sometimes need a better antenna. This is the rules, okay? So this is for 3-channel with 6 sector. Before it was reused 1 to 2, now it's 1 to 3, but you still see a better coverage with the existing, compared to the existing antenna. But this is, again, this is one sample. We got a lot of samples like this. And the result we are that they can give a giga tower, which means more capacity. This is the antenna of MTI. More capacity on the same cell. The main idea that you have a very good silo, very good front-to-back ratio. The gain, it's, it's something that it's real gain, not, fake gain, and so on. So this is the result. And on top of this, of gain and parameter and everything, don't forget that this is outdoor solution, okay? So if you have a problem, for example, just, the antenna fail during the installation, or you have some installation problem, mechanical shock, wind load, so by the way, also a solar radiation, just to let you know that there are many outdoor antenna today that after 1 year, they change, the radome, the cover of the antenna. It's kind of plastic, but it's don't have any solar radiation protection. They're going to change the behavior of the antenna of the network. So you also need to check what kind of materials you buy. Okay, I don't want to say Chinese, not Chinese, but it's very important to see that all of these parameters influence your outdoor solution. Okay. So humidity, IP67, and blah, 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 the protection of water and dust and everything. So this is very important, for you to test, because it's outdoor solution. And we give 3 years warranty, by the way, which means that we support our customer with the installation. Of course, when you're looking also about vendor, you need to see, what kind of proven track record, what kind of technical capability, if they have R&D, manufacturing, and testing capability, what kind of product portfolio. There are many customers that like to buy from the same vendor different kind of solution. They don't want to buy this antenna from this vendor, this antenna. So it's also kind of portfolio that people like to get. kind of technical capability of MTI. I don't want to go about this, but again, over the year, we have a lot of ability for testing and designing and everything. I'm not sure it's going to work, okay? Kind of, it's not the Mondial again, but let's see if it works. Let's see if it's work. If it's not work, we will go forward to another kind of movie. I think they blocked the video. Okay, it doesn't work. Never mind. There's a kind of game that they're cheating you in the football. Okay, so again, this is example. We're already on the end of the presentation, the webinar, but this is kind of example that people are saying, okay, I give you 5 gigahertz, 16 dBi. So you can see the 16 dBi. It's not a real 16 dBi because if you look about 4.9, 5.8, you will see that 16 dBi, it's not real compared to MTI, okay? So again, when they gave you 16 dBi, in this case, they would say maximum 60 dBi, okay? But actually, it will be much lower. So maybe it's okay with you. You know, if you want to use the 4.5 or 4.4, it's okay. You get the, but if you want to use the 5.8, for example, it's going to be 14 and not 16. And by the way, don't forget that we mentioned 3 dB lower, okay? It's half of the power, okay? Don't forget about it. So to give you, we'll see this immediately into point-to-point solution, okay? People are buying dish antenna, okay? The specs say 29, but you get 26. So you lose almost 3 dB in one antenna in the link. It means you lose a lot of distance between the point-to-points. And I'm not talking about other parameters like isolation and side lobe and everything, but the bottom line that you get a very poor isolation, and you get barely, the throughput is going to be very low. Of course, the distance and everything. So we talk about when we choose the right antenna, it's influenced the throughput, the distance, and everything. So what value for money? Maybe it's cheaper to buy this kind of antenna, but it's really support your network. Maybe it's good enough, by the way. Maybe the distance or the throughput is good enough for you, but if you design this on 29 dBi, when it's not 29, so the distance is going to be almost half of the distance that you thought in the beginning. Again, this is kind of, and for example, another issue that people are saying that they sell you 120 sector, but actually it's 90 degree according to the standard. So you're going to have a lot of, you're going to plan a cell which is 120, but actually it's 19, and you're going to be to have a lot of coverage that it's not, it's not covered by the antenna. Okay, this is the rule. But they in the spec they will tell you it's 120, but you will see between the line it's 19. And how much it costs? Again, we talk about how much it costs. So the real question is what kind of performance you want to get, what kind of return of investment, cost benefit, and this is the real question that you need to ask, because cost it's something that maybe it's going to be cheaper, but the performance is going to be also something that it's not, it's not meeting your requirement. So we have a new MTI website. You can download everything that we mentioned before. You can do a kind of search. We have a very nice, if you have Facebook, we have also LinkedIn group. Sometimes we have a very nice article that if you want to follow us, of course, it's up to you. And thank you very much. I think we finished. If there is any question, I will be more than happy to answer. Of course, if you have any offline, you can send it to Microcom. They can sell me, and I can give you a better, sometimes details answer. Christy?
Thank you, Ofer. That was great. Let me pull up the questions. All right. First question, what is your longest range product?
Depend on the. Of course, we have the dish antenna in all the frequency. We have the 2-foot flat panel antenna, also high gain, which in 3.65, 2.4, 5.8. So this is the highest gain that we or the longest link that we can give. If someone needs better details, I can give him, per frequency what we suggest. If they still need more details, but the link, it's calculation of the antenna and the radio parameter, which there is a link budget utility that you can get what kind of range you can achieve with a specific antenna and specific radio.
Okay, thank you. Next question is, what is your best-selling product and why?
The best-selling product is 5.8. Unfortunately, 2.4 is a very crowded market from China. 5.8, it's I think also worldwide, it's a big market. We saw a lot of demand, as I mentioned before, for going to MIMO or 3x3. So yeah, I think that 50% of our sales it's MIMO antenna, and the other one is single polarity. Many companies are going to integrated CPE, very cheap CPE. I understood the reason. Okay, they do off-the-shelf solution from China or from other country like Taiwan. They buy the CPE. So let's say 50% of our market is from, let's say 70% of our market is from sectors, base station, and 30% it's from CPE.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. Next question. Where does everything ship from?
Basically, we have a distributor like Microcom in the U.S. So basically, you should have a local shipment from Microcom, and they know how to do the consideration regarding what kind of shipment, large shipment, ocean shipment, in order to make it cheaper for you, the overhead. In general, MTI has two main locations, one in Israel and one in India. So from the customer perspective, it's transparent. We know how to do, again, our consideration in order to give a cheaper solution to final customer. Okay, so in general, it should come from the U.S., but the main source are from Israel or India.
All right, one more question. Two. So the first question is, if somebody has a special order or a special request, do you have like a technical team to support that?
What, sorry, again?
If somebody has a technical special request,
yeah,
or a special order, do you have a technical team?
Yeah, most because again, one thing that is very important to mention, antenna, it's a passive component. Okay, it means that it doesn't have any active like the radio in I don't know, other system. It's a passive component, but before we define the solution, we have done some discussion with the customer about what kind of the requirement. As we mentioned before, okay, the antenna design consideration, and yes, there are many customers that going back and forward. Like we have a question before, what is the long range that you have? So first of all, what kind of solution is looking? Is looking in dish, flat panel, what kind of frequency, in MIMO or not MIMO? So there is a lot of process before, but finally, yes, we have a team here that give you a support. The team is myself and our RF engineer and our, by the way, also mechanical engineer. So we have a team that give you a solution. In general, I got a lot of technical questions about, how to do, when to do, what option we have, and so on.
All right. One last question. It says, in this slide, it shows the antennas with MTI stickers on the front. However, on the actual units, it's blank. Do some have stickers and some not have the stickers, or is it a marketing strategy?
No, we put just for the picture. We put the sticker. In general, we don't have, as you mentioned, we don't have any sticker because if someone needs, we have two options, by the way. Yeah, we have a customer that's doing laser printing on the radome. It can be done, or they put their own sticker, which is it also can be done. We don't use to put any sticker on our antenna in general. The label, it's on the back side, which give you, of course, the serial number, which means that we know for each antenna when we make the production, who is the customer that buy it. So we have a serial number, we have some description, country of origin. So the label is on the back side of the antenna. We don't put any sticker on the antenna.
All right, fantastic. Well, thank you, Ofer. I appreciate your patience, and thank you everybody for attending the webinar this morning. I hope everybody found it very informative. If anybody has any additional questions, feel free to contact us at sales@microcomtech.com. That's MICROCOMTEC.com. Or if you wish to view any of the products mentioned here today, please visit us at www.microcom.us or contact your salesperson. This webinar will also be posted on Microcom Technologies' YouTube channel for later review. I hope everybody has a wonderful day.